Hey you guys, Caitlin again. So, I shared a story the other day in a video and I mentioned deception. Like I sensed deception, and I wanted to explore more about what I mean by that, because in this journey, right, we're learning to, like with non-duality, it's seeing beyond constructs, seeing beyond labels, and really understanding that, like, even if I say that word, it doesn't exist, right? And what came to me today was that, deception, when we see something that could be identified as deception, we could actually identify it as closed heart chakra. And this is just what came to me intuitively. I don't know if you get these downloads, but so when I'm looking at something or someone, right, and there's behaviors going on, I'm able to tune in energetically, like what's actually happening in the field. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm not seeing the behavior. I'm not hearing the words. I'm detecting where it's coming from. And was a very gradual process for me, but now I'm like, my ego mind has been so removed, or now it's so submissive to my soul, to my high self, that I can even receive these behaviors, but without judging the person for them. Does that make sense? So if I'm calling something deceptive, that definition is now not that they're doing something wrong, not that something's bad, not that they're evil. No, it's just that, it feels like the heart, they're not coming towards me with an open heart. Boom, right? And I love that because it actually aligns us with the reality of how the world works, right? It gets us out of the psychological mind. It gets us out of judgment and out of labels. And this is how we can actually operate in the world with others with full compassion. And when I notice these things, I'm not like standing there telling them, your heart's not open. Like, no, it's just an observation. And then maybe what would I do? Well, if everything's a projection of myself, I'm gonna go back into my heart, make that observation, and I'm gonna emit an open heart. I'm gonna emit an open heart, right? So it's perceiving, being perceptive rather than judgmental. So when we're perceptive, we're, again, I'll call it spirit eyes. We're seeing things in a truthful way, meaning not things as the senses would see, but we're seeing things from a spiritual perspective, which often means just energetics and creating narratives that would align with the higher mind. So I love talking about this. I know I've gotten some good feedback on other videos, like when I talk about the spiritual gifts that come with certain abuse tactics. And this kind of aligns with that, so if that's something you're really into, in transmuting or inverting the psychology of abuse, this is a really helpful way to do it, is tuning in with the energy that's perceived, identifying the labels in your head that are existing with that perception. But instead of identifying these labels as truth now, you're just observing that thought and you're recognizing, ooh, that's a label. If I judge that, that's going to be judged back on me, right? I'm going to create more of that in my reality. So don't react to the thought. But you can acknowledge your discomfort, and whatever you feel led to do when you notice that discomfort, that you do that. But it's nice because you're not doing it from a morality place. You're not doing it from a place of judgment or being anchored in the 3D. You're literally working with the higher self. And it's almost just like the animals, right? It's aligning. That's really going back to our animalistic nature, where the animals, again, they perceive energies and they respond accordingly. But of course, there's no judgment going on, right? There's no morality, and I believe that's how we are meant to move through the world also. Now we're just moving, but we're not behaving, we're just moving. And so this is, I love exploring this. I love exploring the psychology of consciousness versus like the social conditioning. But I hope this was helpful. This is very brief, but let me know how this resonates with you if you found it helpful. And I would love to hear like more of your experiences on this too, because I'm sure you have seen the same thing and noticed that. So I look forward to hearing your stories in the comments. Thanks for watching.